Well, it's about 1:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. Haven't done this about a week. Mowed the yard twice since I talked to you last. Still looking good. I had a new process start at the dialysis clinic today. I stuck myself. To say the least, I was apprehensive about it. The reason I took that trusty needle and stuck myself is that here in the next 30 to 45 days, me and my darling are going to head out for Siegel North. And in order to get there, I will have to dialysize in Nashville, Tennessee, Columbus, Ohio, and then either in Dunkirk or Jamestown. And the procedure that they use in my fistula here in my arm is called buttonholes. I know I've mentioned it. I might have just mentioned it a moment ago. And to find out that not all the clinics use buttonholes. I hate to walk into some place and go, buttonhole? What's a buttonhole? So, in order to be able to use my buttonholes, I'm going to do it myself so that I won't hear these words. They can assist me, but anyway, they can assist me, but I can do it myself. No matter where I end up. If I end up in Pigs Knuckle, Arkansas, I will be able to access my buttonholes. It's all right. Isn't something I'd recommend do me. I guess people that shoot up drugs do it all the time. I'm not that kind of person, so I'm not the type of person that sticks metal objects into my body. But got it done today. Pretty proud. Really, very little heart factor to it. And of course, I'll do it again Friday. And by the time we leave out of here for Siegel North, I will have done it a number of times and hopefully be proficient at it. Looking forward to going to Siegel North. Heating up here, not bad. Spring's been beautiful. Spring here in Osceola, Siegel South, has just been gorgeous. My lawn is the best I've ever had. We put out new trees a couple of years ago. They're coming on like gangbusters. In fact, we didn't at this juncture. I don't think we set them far enough apart. To see them sitting out there as little trees, there's 30 or 40 feet between them. But they're called bur oaks, and we have a bur oak in the front yard. And I paced off the spread on that thing today, and it's about 55 feet from where the leaves start on one side to where they end on the other. Well, it's only about 20 feet between, it's 30 feet between the trees that we put out. So, they're going to be deeply involved in each other's leaves and limbs when they get full grown, but that's all right. It'll make a nice shady windbreak out there for the back porch. So it's going to be good. Be a few years before that happens, though. What have we done since I talked to you last? Of course, we've done a few things. Went out to a friend of mine's building a new home. Went out yesterday and took a look. Coming along nicely. What got me on here tonight, a couple of things. My President Obama, a couple of things that he has done. Lord Almighty, I wish Hillary would run. she would be a shoo-in for the Democrats, I really believe. And it seems obvious that she's not going to. But President Obama is not conducting himself as a good populist Democrat should. I find it just amazing. I'm really in a terrible state. I voted for in every election since Eisenhower, the last time Eisenhower ran. There's a real possibility I might not vote this time. Most of all, not for Obama. I hope that the Democrats take both houses of Congress, because I think it'll be a disaster if we have a Republican president and both houses of Congress Republican. I mean, they will cut and slash. They'll have people living in paper boxes under bridges. Because the way they intend to go after entitlements, quote unquote. Entitlements. Social Security, that's an entitlement. I've been putting into Social Security since about 1953. 52, 51, long in there. They want to alter Social Security. Now they say not for me, for my generation, but for generations to come. Got to reduce that thing. Well, if they hadn't been dipping into it and applying Social Security funds to the general revenues and spending it on other things, there wouldn't be any problem with Social Security. And ironically, this practice started, I believe, back during LBJ, one of my Democratic presidents. Don't understand it. But anyway, today I saw in the paper this, and it's a picture of the space shuttle on the back of 747 flying past the Washington Monument and the Capitol building. And everybody is going bonkers. Isn't it wonderful? The whole world stopped to witness this and look at it. And it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it's on its way to the Smithsonian Institute Aeronautical Museum. And isn't it wonderful? No. No, it's not. It's terrible. That program generated thousands and thousands and thousands of good paying jobs. Highly technically sophisticated jobs. People are just at the top of their game. Generated so much economical stimulus. I mean, can you imagine how much money it took to put that puppy in space every time it went up? I mean, they had to buy the fuels. They had to assemble the thing down there in Florida. It was just limitless, and the side effects, the collateral benefits that were derived. Almost every time they went up, they discovered a new scientific principle that could be applied to our lifestyle. I mean, the benefits are just endless. And they parked it. Well, it's old. Friends, you can rebuild anything. I mean, if you have the technology, which we do today, you can keep refurbishing that thing and putting it up and flying those flights and generating the revenue and making the jobs, and all that has come to an end. I mean, it just stopped with that thing flying past those buildings. Maybe there was a little something generated from the pilot flying the 747, But that object up on his back is no longer going to be used for the benefit of the country, and it was been a very beneficial program. And I blame Obama. He's the president of the United States. He's supposed to be concerned about the economic welfare of his constituents. He's supposed to see to it that they stay employed if he has the ability to do so. And he either allowed, condoned, or did it himself, parked that thing. To me, it's a disaster. If we want to go into space now, oh, and by the way, on top of that, he cut the funding for the follow-on program that would have replaced the space shuttle. There was a program called the Ares Heavy Lifter. And that was his doing. That wasn't anybody else's. He canceled the funding for the Ares Heavy Lifter. So now, if we want to go into space, if we want to put a man on the International Space Station, we have to send him over to, what is the name of that? Kazakhstan. And have to fly up with the Russians because they have the ability to get up there. Or the French down in Guyana. We have to send them down there. We have no way, the United States of America, the preeminent economy and social structure in the whole world, and we don't have the ability to put a man up on the International Space Station. We can fly things up there because we do have some rockets that will get up there. But as far as putting a human being up there, we can't do it. Russians can do it. I'm sure the Chinese are going to be able to in very short order. We really need the Chinese to be ahead of us in a lot, all that stuff. I mean, the Chinese are probably our main protagonists right now, and they've got a 5-year plan to go to the moon. And in the meantime, we're just shutting things down. Whoa, Obama, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Look at the economic benefit that would be derived if that Ares Heavy Lifter was still in the program. I mean, I know that they've been ranting and raving about the deficit spending, but in today's world, deficit spending is not all that bad. You shut down General Motors, which the Republicans would have had you do. You not fund those banks that would have gone under back, which the Republicans would have had you do, and we would all be in the depths of the darkest depression since the Dark Ages. I don't know. You're catering to them people. You are catering to them, and we didn't elect you to do that. I don't want to elect you again because you're going to evidently do more of it. And as an example, I saw on the news today that you've started a program to withdraw the government inspectors out of the chicken plants. Bo Pilgrim and the rest of these guys, I mean, they've been turning out, even with the inspectors, they've been turning out foul chickens for years. And I understand now that the meat inspectors that have been in the poultry plants are going to be reduced from 4 per line to 1 per line. And that's a shame. I mean, they said they're going to let the poultry producers police themselves. It's like putting the fox in the hen house. I mean, it's human nature to make as much money for as little effort for as long as you can, and that's what they will do if you're not standing there watching them. And my good President Obama today, and I got to blame it on him, because they said the government. Well, he's the head of the government as of now. Anyway, they're going to stop monitoring the production of chickens. We're going to have people start dying, I think. Might not happen right away, but you're going to hear, what is it, E. coli and I can't think of the different things that conjure up in unsafe and unsanitary conditions, and that's what'll happen. Once again, my buddy Obama is doing. He sounds like a Republican. That is something that Ronald Reagan would have done. That's something that Mitt Romney will probably do. We didn't elect him to do that. We elected him to be in a position of oversight on things like our food and our medicines and stuff like that. And he's just falling all over himself trying to buddy up the Republicans, I guess. I don't know. Either that or he's a closet Republican. But he puts us Democrats who want a populist president in a terrible place because Romney is saying that he's going to go with this budget that this nutcase came out with here, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. You know, they're going to cut back on anything that might do the general public any good and oversight and to moderate, the prices of different commodities and one thing. Anything like that, no, they're not going to do it. They're going to give the millionaires, either let them stay where they're at or give them cuts in taxes. It's just more of the same. It's more George Bush. And as an alternative, I got my buddy Obama. For the life of me, he's doing the same thing. Now, he's talking a good fight, and he's yapping about, making the Republican or the millionaires pay 30% in taxes, which I think is right. That's good. But along with these things which he's advocating, he's doing some terrible stuff. He is doing some terrible stuff. This thing with the oversight of the poultry farms being dropped, I mean, it's just flat out dangerous. I don't know. If somebody doesn't rise up and say, hey, don't do that, we're just in a terrible state of affairs. And I want to cry when I see that space shuttle go by those buildings and everybody going, oh, hooray, hooray, it's going to the museum. I want to see the thing going back up to the International Space Station and doing what it's supposed to be doing, not sitting on the ground and us wasting the minds that put that thing up in the air. And that expertise will go away. You give us 10 years with no group of people that are doing these things and putting these things in space, and because this is where the future is. You give us 10 years of sitting on the ground watching everybody else go, and we'll never catch up. We'll have to start from scratch. Those engineers will, a lot of them will be dead. Some of them are pretty old fellas. We'll have to re-educate ourselves. We'll never catch up. It is a total mistake. So that's my opinion on the space shuttle going to a museum. And who knows what else. I don't know what we're going to do. Like I said, write me in as a good liberal Democrat if you go into the thing, and I promise we'll have ability to take our own people into space. I'll put the taxes. I'm running for office. Listen to me. But it's what I would do as a good Democrat. That's what I would do. I would go along with the increase on taxes on the rich. I would not cut into the entitlement programs. Now, I might go into some of these ghettos and set up a table, and I'd have a doctor there and a list. And as the freeloaders, the ones that have never turned a tap, come to the table, I'd have the doctor judge their ability to work. And if he said they're all right, then I would tell them that their name's off the list. Your last check was last month. You better go find a job. Sweeping streets, whatever. I know that you've heard me talk about the 86 million people out of work. Well, There are obviously not 86 million jobs, but they'd have to find something to do because, yeah, I would cut them off. Uh, that'd be another whole bureaucracy. It'd be bigger government. I'm in favor of bigger government because I would put these people out in the workforce. I'd probably come up with something like the old CCC that Roosevelt did. I think we need it. He's a good Democrat too. Obama doesn't seem interested in anything like that. What will we do? Here's my buddy